Quite soon it will be Easter Day. It's a very important day for all Christian people. So today I'm going to show you how to make an Easter garden. Before you start, you need to collect all the things to make your garden. It can be a bit messy, so you might like to do it out of doors. I'm doing it here inside St Andrew's Church, Kimbolton, and so I've covered up the table to keep everything clean. So these are the things you'll need. First, you'll need some sort of container for your garden. It could be an old baking tray, or a plastic tray from the garden, or a flat basket, or even a dish. You can choose. I'm making quite a big garden, and so I've chosen quite a big container. Then you'll need some soil like this. And you'll also need some moss or some grass. You can use real grass if you like, but it does get a bit long sometimes. And if you can't find any moss or grass that you can put in your garden, you could actually use grass cuttings, but they don't last very well. You'll also need some sticks and some thread. I'll tell you about those in a moment. You'll need a plant pot, depending on the size of your garden. And if you're making a little garden, a really small one, you might prefer to have something smaller, like a yogurt pot. You'll need some little stones, and you'll also need one bigger stone. Then also you'll need to find a bit of white cloth if you can. If you haven't got any white cloth, then a tissue, a bit of kitchen roll will do instead. And then finally, you'll need a few little plants or flowers that you can put in your garden. So, our garden's going to tell the story of what happened to Jesus near Jerusalem nearly 2,000 years ago. You may remember how on Palm Sunday, Jesus and his friends went to Jerusalem and were welcomed by crowds of people. But there were some people who didn't like Jesus because they thought he was a troublemaker. So we're going to start our garden by making the countryside around Jerusalem, which was quite hilly. So we'll mound up the soil on one side of our garden to make a hill, and we'll cover it with moss. The people who were Jesus' enemies plotted to kill him, and on Good Friday, Jesus was hung on a cross and left to die. We need to use our sticks and our thread to make a cross for Jesus. If you like, you can make 2 more crosses for the 2 other men who were crucified with him. And then we can put our crosses up on the hill. After Jesus' death, his friends took his body and put it into a tomb, which was a kind of cave in the rock. So we're going to use our plant pot or our yogurt pot to make the cave. We'll cover it with some more moss. And we'll use the small stones to make a path in front of it. Jesus' body was wrapped in white cloth, so we're going to put our piece of white cloth inside the tomb. and a big stone was rolled in front of the entrance to the tomb. So that's why we need our big stone too. Of course, Jesus' friends and Mary, his mother, were very sad. And on Easter Day, some of them decided to go to the tomb to visit his body. When they got there, they were very surprised. The big stone had been rolled back. So let's roll back our stone. The white cloth was still there, but Jesus' body had disappeared. In its place was an angel who told them not to be sad. Jesus was not dead. He was alive again. And that's why Easter is such an important and happy day for us all. We need to do one more thing to finish our garden. Easter is in springtime, when the plants, trees and flowers all seem to come back to life after the winter. And so we'll finish our garden by adding some little plants and flowers to remind us again of how Jesus died for us on the cross and then came back to life on Easter Day. Have a very happy Easter.